Alright peeps, welcome back to Fireside. We've got an indecisive beaver here wondering why he should go and drop off his bit metal block. Now in the last episode, we destroyed our bad water repulsion system and replaced it with a brand new, beautiful water sorting system. Because not only will this sluice close as soon as we get any contamination and push the water out the back of the map here through this tidy little hole that we've made, there's also a second sluice knocking about on the side, which I thought I would be able to click from this angle, but I was wrong. Because this side sluice, it feeds in to the little canal here that goes all the way along and will soon irrigate this entire hillside. Once I pause these bloody water sloppers once again, we didn't need these up and running because we've got the automated numbers. Look at them all automatically sloping everything up with a full 100% efficiency. You know what, I'm actually going to go through and untick the unpause when temperate season starts on all of these water slopers here. Times are a-changing with the Emberpelts. Oh, and I got a bit panicky because all the beavers have got all these warnings, but I've just came rid of a 24-hour working day, so that's why they're all kicking the boots. Why didn't we follow Lap and Tuffle Magic up to his house on the side there? It took a proper roundabout way getting there, like. But we'll let the beavers rest and recover. Apart from these couple of beaver builders here that are gonna come and slap the rest of these planks in. But not finish it, of course. They've got to go to Kip first. Morning, beavers! Get your horses out of bed, get yourself up these ladders here, and banging a boot on this fancy little sluice hour here. I want it in, all the way in. Thank you very much, Crow Dog the Legend. Now, thanks to Crow Dog the Legend there, we've got this sluice in, which will mean we're getting water all the way in our fancy little canal here. Look at it gone! And this bad lad should fill up and get mad pressure through it. Although it hasn't went anywhere past 0.2728 for this whole speed 3 bit here. Oh, hold up beavers, I'm going to pause slightly, we might not want to build this. I knew there was a reason I put the bloody levees on there. Oh, and the rubble's gone. I just lost the 4 dirt. Well, that's only because I'm about to ask the beavers to blow up these 2 blocks of dirt, which is bloody 12 dirt. I'm also going to ask the beavers to pick up all of these planks and metal blocks, because this bottom row here needs to be levees. Then we'll pop the sluices on top, which will of course send good water out the back here. But not to fear, we did unlock the flat top floodgates that I thought I'd never use. So if we pop them on there, blow up 3 more bits of dirt. Now I've set these floodgates up so they're going to 0.95, but we'll do a bit of a test when we get the front end in, see where we can actually set it to. Essentially I want to get a level on here where with all of the pressure that we're going to inevitably build, we don't get any water coming out the wrong way. Oh, I'm a bit double dynamites in, let's blow it up. And then the beavers can get a run to building and picking up all this nonsense. Well, the bits they've got storage for anyway. I should be able to move this rubble up, shouldn't I? Onto that bit of levee. No, because it's already got a sluice on it. Well, I hope I haven't just said goodbye to those resources. No, they're still available for pickup, thankfully. Now let's top this off with a little bit of a land bridge. And a path with railings, of course. Alright, now beavers, you need to get all that in. And for some reason, we're pushing water out the back. Why is that happening all of a sudden? Nothing new is being built here. Absolutely nothing. Well, I mean the levee, but the levee was already in. It's been in for about a day. And look at our beaver builders banging away there, getting everything they possibly can in before the clock off. We've even got a late night beaver builder dropping off a log. Alright, now beavers, are you going to hang out in the campfire? Can I join you? What's going on, beavers? You bunch of farmer and builder legends over here. I hope you're looking forward to your big canal action, like it's going to irrigate so much of this hill. Look, we're even irrigating the land bridge that's never been irrigated before. And look at the beavers getting their back scratched. It's bloody lovely. Now let's fast forward through the night, and I'll meet you in the... We've got a warning! A bad tide and all! Right, beavers, you just need to get this in. You just need to get this in. I bang on that bloody TNT. We need all of it in. Well, maybe not that bit of TNT, to be fair, but we definitely need all of this in, like, beavers. Can you please? There's a flavour. Hurry up and get these sluices in. The entire colony relies on you brave builder beavers. Oh, and if you can see, I also turned on all the manual water sloppers. We were running about half capacity and I don't know how long this bad tide's gonna be. And that's in, it's in. The top door isn't in, but the sluices are all in. Happy days. Ooh, we need to set these bad lads up. Need closing and close on 0% contamination. Now let's drip down Check our pressure. Oh, it's all pressurized. It's all pressurized. And you know what? We'll be able to see from this little bit of flow. It's only been getting flow since we came out of the speedy up bit anyway. How long will our wee canal here last and keep this little bit of hilltop green? You know what? I've got full confidence myself. Therefore, I'm gonna get the old forester roots and planting loads and loads of oaks. And you know what? While we're here and we're digging up dirt from the riverbed, let's just start building this land up here. Now that's gonna be a tidy little bit of land expansion for our beavers here. We're gonna be able to plant so many oaks in these bloody terrain blocks. And you know what? Since we've got planks sitting on the deck needing to be picked up, why don't we get this dirt storage transferred to plank storage? Other than the fact we didn't have beavers grafting in the dirt excavator anyway, we're using all the dirt we're scooping up even if we were. I tell you what, like 1 day remaining, the beavers are making light work of filling these tanks up with water. I couldn't be prouder of them. Do you reckon we could replace these 4 dams with flat top numbers like within the next day? I reckon we could, you know, especially when we recover 60 logs. And with those piles of rubble safely out the way, I'd like to see beavers. Would you mind whacking in some flat-top floodgates over here with the absolute quickness, please? And I'll even replace your fancy wooden path with railings. Now, I was advised in a comment that there's a builder priority within the priorities where they'll build first, then they'll pick up crap, then they'll demolish objects. That's why I brought the forester down to a high priority. I'm leaving those planks as a very high priority, as well as all of these little logs back here. And the flat-top floodgates, of course. If there's no logs or planks, beavers can't get to building these, therefore they're going to go pick up the piles. Now let me quickly set these up. Of course we're going to go on 0.95 until it starts flooding. And whenever a tide starts it comes to 1, whenever a tide ends it comes down to 0.5. Well beavers, I see yous have slurped enough water. I hope yous have had enough sleep because we're going up to a 24-hour working day here. And I'm just going to real casually perch myself on the old aqueduct here. And hope beyond all hope that the beavers get these 4 flat top floodgates in before the bad tide starts and we'll lose that bit of water there. And of course they did. Look at them gone, the bunch of bloody leg ends. Halloween! Now why is the water only coming out of this one here? All of these are at 0.95, yeah? So why water only come out 1? What about if we bring it all down? Water comes out of all of these? Sort of. But then we bring it back up, not too fast so we don't cause big waves or anything. Just sort of chill out, get it all the way back up because we do only have 0.3 days remaining. But beavers, you can clock off in about 2 hours time. Right, now let's check this out. The water level's gonna rise and then the water's gonna piss out. Hopefully across all 4 of these little bad lads here. Why are you those? All 4 of them this time. Well, I'm happy with that. I'm not so happy with the flooding, but I think it's okay. You see, oh no, there's some beavers. Tobot's getting the wet fur. We didn't want that. Oh, like I say, is it just because I whacked it up there when I was faffing about? We've got this double floodgate at 8.5 at the top there. So if it comes to it, when the next temperate season comes round, if we start flooding, I'll bring this down to 0.85 and see how we crack along. Well, for now, beavers, you should probably get yourselves to bed because we're about to wake up for a whole new bad tide. Now, before I get me fancy little bad tide angle, this closes at 0% contamination. Let's go and do it to 30 in height. This closes at 0% contamination. We should be tickety-boo. And look at that, we've even got some oaks planted up here. We're here to test with Big Canal. Well, let's get that fancy little angle I was on about, where we can see these flat-top floodgates opening and the bad water pissing straight out of here. There it comes! The bad water's gotten out the map. What type of contamination are we dealing with though? It's likely going to be contaminating underneath this bit of soil. Let's have a quick ganders. That looks alright. But I do know sometimes this might not be like 100% contaminated, this bit of water. It might take a day or 2. So we'll see what it gets to. For now though, just plant your oaks, Mr. Beaver. Plant away. Right, now let's start getting some maximum priority jobbies on the gun. Namely, these bits of dynamite here. This bit over here can stay high priority. We can just nibble away at that. Oh, would you look at this? We've got a bad tide. That means we can slurp up all the bad water we want. Fill 2,400 of it up. Maybe even more if we get all the planks in this bad, lad. Oh, and it's an 18 deer. I'm glad we got the full 4k water, like. I'm bloody happy about that. And the power's just stopping now, so these are starting to stop themselves. Or at least we're only getting 1 no power warning for some reason. Not entirely sure why, but hey, the less warnings and things you've got on the screen, the better in my opinion. And look at our builder beavers carrying the bags of dirt, getting this whole hill up and running. Now what, let's just do a real casual little speedy up bit here while we get this hillside built out. And you'll be able to see if the canal runs out now, because those trees will start drying up and dying. Well, it seems like building is slow to a crawl on the hillside there. Let's go do something else. Oh, and the game finally realised there's no power in any of these buildings. Tell you what, like, I am keen for the big hole that's going to come from the river here. Oh, will it? Is this level 0? Hang on. I don't think there will be a hole in this river. Nah. Well, this is the perfect place to put it then. I was fully expecting it to be a big deep hole in the river. I was going to have it drilled down and create a bad water reservoir and put pumps around it and that. But hey, I guess this is where we're sticking it, eh? Though I do want to remove the plank storage from here, because there should be dirt. We do thankfully have this bit of dynamite in, so let's blow it up, replace it with a bit of stair action. So beavers can get all the way to the actual underground parts of this tunnel here. And since we can only reach one of these at a time, I'm going to make it all maximum priority. Although looking at our canal here, we're already halfway done. Very little pressure was contained in there apparently. But it was under 2 days and we've only got the corner of one source flowing through here. Not all of them. I do love how you can see the bad water system in action like. Water's getting blocked by the levees / the sluices on top. Ganning over this little land bridge and pushing out the back of the map, because water doesn't gan out the back of the map where water sources are. Oh, would you look at that? We are getting a bit of contamination. Let's blow that dynamite up. Pop down a handy dandy lumberjack flag just to commemorate that there used to be a block there, you know. And see that we've got some contamination to contend with. That means ganning into landscaping, getting a contamination barrier, and it doesn't take treated planks. Let's go! And popping some contamination barriers along this side here. And we should do the same on this side as well, so we can keep this area green whenever we get to it, you know, just whenever. As in, minimum priority beavers. We'll pause old mate for now. There's no point having anybody grafting here. A guns for you now, Mr. Forrester. Especially since the water level's already bloody halfway down. It's a good thing these oaks have got 15-day drought resistance, because I'll be happy if they get a 15% grown before that canal dries up. Ooh, what do I see here? Were we full on corn storage or something? Like that full on grilled corn, full on grilled bell pepperonis. Now what we're not full on is canola. Therefore the canola's getting their bit of the cornfield back. You know what peeps, I've just had myself a mad idea here. Why didn't I? Ooh, there's a beaver coming up to build the contamination barrier. Go on, bloody hammer it in there lad. Or just drop it off and run away, it's all good, whatever, you know. Damn, look at that storage tower come along. But anywho, as I was saying, I had a mad idea. Why didn't I use my little first-person perspective here to be a beaver? Gandoon. Oh, and yeah, there's no crouching in this, so yeah, nah, okay then. Can we plop ourselves underground to begin with without crashing the game? Oh, just put me above ground. Does that mean I can't get in there? Like, at all? Beaver, I just want to see you bang away at that and start blowing it up and all that good stuff, you know? I mean, we could still do a bit of a speedy up bit, like where you see that tunnel face getting further and further away from us. As well as the army of beavers building each one of them. Well, with that bit blown up, why didn't I go ahead, pop some more paths down? Oh, and the beavers are still blowing them up here as well. I thought we only had the bits underground to contend with. And now the beavers are blowing these up too. You know, as I stand here looking at our contamination barriers, our uncontaminated ground down there, definitely not contaminated. I also noticed that this is all dried up. We'll definitely do a proper test of our little pressure canal here. But what I also want to do is step onto this building hut and have a game of the floor's lava. I treat this as the redemption run. We're going all the way down here without touching any platforms or the ground itself. Just building tops. And I want to check on a few things while we're doing that. Once we get down to this level here, I want to start checking on our dam, see how that's knocking about. And we can stand on top of the trees, that's alright, that's allowed. Oh yeah, there's bloody heaps of what I'm knocking about down here. I'm buzzing with our big flat top dams. Alright, now I might have messed things up by coming on the trees here. But, oh, quickly sprint. No, we're alright. I mean, our industry's still here, but what I actually wanted to, oh, back it up. The space thing happened there. I was aiming for the top of the chimney here. Now the space thing can't happen here, I need to get out. But the reason I'm doing here, other than just redeeming the fact that I'm an absolute parkour beaver legend, I want to see how much water we got of the bad variety, of course, inside this big old tank here. So let's hippity hop our way across the last couple of obstacles here. And then finally, take a sploosh in the bad water. Oh, that's right, you can't get in these tanks. Well, there's not that much in there, is there? Would it be worth unpausing? Oh, they're already built. Alright then. Then it's definitely worth coming over here and upping the priority of these two grafters here. Now here we are again, where we've got a very unfortunate situation where we're running out of beaver workplaces. But we got the perfect amount of beavers here, so what's a cupcake to do? Reduce the priority in the building hut is my idea of what we should do. I'm even going to free up these builders here, put it back to medium, but those builders should have went over and started grafting in here, the outdoor excavator. But I'm honestly surprised. Oh, well, that's actually a decent amount there, 702. It's just a massive tank. It looks like it's bloody empty. And there's some in here now. Alright then. Well, maybe there wasn't any proper purpose of putting all of these bad water slurpers on the crack, but we'll store it up anyway. We'll store it up. I was about to come in and say I'm surprised we haven't stored up much bad water because I left the centrifuge pause, which is something I didn't do last bloody episode. But anywho, let's check on our bloody progress in here at level 13. Oh, they've done absolutely nothing. Well, I mean, they put some things in, and if we time it right, there could be a beaver on their way. Apart from the fact they've all clocked off. Now I'm going to do a bit of testing here. I've just cheated a platform in, so I can see if I can get underneath it. So I can get underneath the platform, no bother. I think it's the stairs going into the platform that's having me life there. Well, if that's the case, let me show you me deleting all of this. I didn't cheat, not on purpose anyway. But let's see we delete this impermeable floor and this platform here. We'll tell the beavers to pick it up whenever, you know. I should then be able to get into first person perspective here. Gandoon! And how can't I get in? I could get in before when I was testing it. Oh, I had to jump. Now I'm in. Haha! I can get down and into the little tunnel here. Right now I'm going to be right in front of it here. And then to the right and back. So now I'm pushed up against this little bit of support on the pillar. I reckon this should be a canny, tidy little speedy up bit to blast away some wow. Much better than the last one, if doubt else. And I'm going to keep the speedy up bit going until we break through to the other side of the mountain top. Well, that didn't take very long, did it? I don't even think that's very much of a speedy up bit. I do want to quickly connect these two bits of path together here. Watch all the beavers run up and down these ladders, getting their backs scratched and enjoying a chill by the campfire here. It's a nice day for it, isn't it, beavers? But anyway, I've got to get myself back down this little hole here. Don't forget to jump as you get in so you can get in there. And we've got to zoom our way down here to watch the beavers blast away this last little corner. Right, now let's come out of the speedy up bit. Follow the beaver over here to blow up the last corner piece. Look at it gone. And it goes all the way round. I don't think... Hey, they did. They blew it up. It goes all the way round. That's the canal in. Let's get out of the little perspective mode because we've got one little bit of work to do before the next 4.2 days are up here. Now let's double check. Our canal does indeed go all the way round. It looks like we can delete the path without deleting the platforms. Why aye. Let's get rid of this staircase. Whap some bloody single high platforms on there, as well as our last tunnel piece here. Oh yeah, not forgetting the impermeable roof and all. And before we actually start planting any oaks here, we need to replace our big campfire. Get that on there, beavers. Get this temporary path out of here. Yeah, now, beavers, that's just a mild maximum priority build there. And I cannot wait for 4 days' time. Well, maybe 4.5 days by the time we clear all of this down to 0% contamination. Actually, speaking of contamination, we need to sort this bit of contamination out. Let's delete these bits of paths. Extend our contamination barrier over here. Because I reckon this contamination down here is simply just the contamination gone in around and looping. You see how it's not gone all the way to the end there? It's not able to loop around enough. Although we won't need this one though. I don't know why I'm putting that on there. And then just for when we get round to it, we'll pop a contamination barrier here. But if this contamination barrier doesn't sort out the contamination on the side there, we might have to start plopping them underneath here. Hopefully not though. I'll tell you what, get a closer look at this. They've got rounded edges. Is that an Emberpelts thing or an Update 7 thing? These should just be mad little squares. Aye, these should just look like that, but they've got proper little rounded edges too. That's mad, that. I still love these greasy little impermeable floors here, like they're lush. Now I'm just going to real casually delete this impermeable floor and this platform and all of the resources that come with it. No particular reason, you know. No particular reason. Oh, ruddy heck, beavers. Yous have only went and built this when it was a minimum priority jobby. Can yous please not? Like, it's all fine and well to be like, that's where I'm going to store my bricks, but how are you getting there to get the bricks stored, man? Honestly, beavers are a bunch of radgies. Now, I've just been looking at the new heights here. We're going to have to quickly sort something out with this little platform. Get these two deleted. We're going to replace that with 2 single platforms, an overhang to get to a brick storage, and then that's very simply how we access the brick storage. And the rest of it, I'm leaving deleted, so we definitely can't touch that. More than we've already touched it. The way I see it here, we've got 2.2 days to prepare for our canal grand opening. Let's start by deleting all of these Science huts here. Begone, Science huts, yous are no longer welcome up in here. But the lumberjack's welcome as always. Along with an additional lumberjack friend, because he can be lonely up on top of the mountain here. And I think I'm going to try and get away with just having 1 forester in here. Because we can probably blow a tunnel through this little bit of hill and have them access this plot of land. Or maybe we'll plop something else that isn't an oak on this plot of land. And as for everything that isn't a bit of oak up here, get yourself onto the path. Because we are all about oak growth up in here. Nothing less and nothing more. Apart from this middle ring, this is going to be ever blossoms just for shits and gigs, you know, because why wouldn't you have a little pink ring? Although looking at it, it's definitely more of a pink circle than a pink ring, like. And look at that, the ever blossoms are taller, so they're going to be the same height as the actual oaks. That's mint, that. And are you sitting on your ass day now because you're full on storage? Why are you all? Let's switch you over to this boyo here. Oh, we've started drying up down here. Let's dip some water out for the beavers. Well, the oak trees. Pop that back up to 2. We shouldn't release any water. Oh, we definitely won't release any water because it's not 0.5. It's all the way up to 1 because we've got flat top floodgates in here now. And that did start a little bit of water current. And get a couple of percentage worth of power can in our water slopers here. Topping up that 1.8k water. Which I have a feeling if we hover over it will last us more than 1.5 days. Why aye, a solid 13 days. But with little else to do for the next 1 point whatever days, why don't I practice me parkour? Try and get all the way from the bottom of the map here to the top of the... Okay then, alright, that didn't work, did it? It looks like the bottom to the top map run is going to have to wait until another episode because I've got some unfinished business. Ruined the back here. Now, to be fair, I did decide that taking the level down would be a better angle. So let's have a look. It gans up, it fills up, and what already do it? It's already coming out, it's already cycled. Oh, bloody straight away. Well, the contamination here is officially 0%. Well, let me real casually cheat a platform back in here, as well as an impermeable floor on the tippity top there, because I went ahead and deleted this one out here instead. The reason being quite simple. The second I actually go into this view, the game's gonna resume. And the water's gonna start coming forward. Get out! Beaver! Beaver! Right, we're out. Right, I want to get a head start. It is proper coming forward, like. It's not flooding those oozes. We already know that from the last fill. But could it be flooding the rest? I didn't even think of that. Well, I did think of that. Because that's why I knocked the last one out and not the first one. But the water's just going to have to spill because I'm committed to this now. Even if I have to press shift to run faster because I went into speed 2. Oh, no, you turn. The water's getting me tootsies. Run. Run, beaver. Get to the end and turn around so it's not on. There we go. Now full. Right, now we need to pause the game. Yeah. I had a feeling we was spilling out at the top here. Let's cheat our little bit of platform and impermeable floor back in. And I'm putting the footage up in the corner so you now wasn't cheating. I deleted the resources from this flood as well. But that's the impermeable floor on there now. That flooding should stop because we've got nothing but pressure up in here. Oh, I was supposed to create a save, but I didn't. Wait, I'm creating a dafty save here because I need to come back. Load the most recent autosave so I can get a top-down angle of it all turning green and everything. So that when I'm panicking inside of the tunnel, you've got something pretty to look at instead of just darkness and water coming to slosh. How are you? We're back in the real Fireside now. Got that bit of footage that you saw before I even started yapping on about it. It's even more obvious on that bit of footage that this corner's dry. So we need to whip out a little branch tunnel here. I would say if we branch from here all the way down. And you know what the heart's got us thinking? I really want to move the path up on top of these little canals here. Why wouldn't I do that? I was looking out of the bonus oaks we can bloody grow now. Nah, I'm joking. That little bit of ramp there, even though it is green ground, it's contemplation overlook is what that is. That's for beavers to have a look our fireside and admire their beautiful colony. Oh, one of the things we need to start admiring is the plantation of more oaks up in here on our freshly reclaimed land, which means it'll need to be marked for cutting as well. Make sure you cut all those trees down, beavers. And I'm seeing we've got ourselves a bit of a green hilltop on the crack. Let's pop a set of stairs on there, not taking up any green growable land. And now we can see it with our forester. And I'm thinking as well, while we're here, we may as well get some dirt on the crack. Expand our land a wee bit, you know. Fill up all of these little spots, like we did over here. Or like we did over here, to be more accurate. We do need to unpause the foresters, I will say that. We need them actually planting. You know what, actually, I'm going to put wooden path with railings just across the top here anyway. It looks a lot nicer and it gives access to anything that might be needed over here. Oh, now before I forget, impermeable floor those beavers. The impermeable floors are the high priority. And the rest of the canal's just a regular old highest priority. I just realised with my plan here that I'm going to do. Now, I would like to blow this little bit up here, but I'm not going to just yet because that will release all the water. But it has got me thinking I might want to pop a fancy pants lumberjack flag just on there like that. We'll pause the construction of it though. I'm only placing it there so we don't get an oak planted. And not that I've been checking, but it looks like we didn't particularly flood over here. Now, of course, we're flooding over here. Let's get down to 0.85 and we can see if we continue to flood or not. Or if it's the magic number like it is up here. What? I thought it didn't flood up here? What? Ah, I swear it didn't used to flood up here. Beavers, he's having me life here. What? Alright, well, let's watch this and see how the flood propagates or doesn't propagate. I look at it kicking off. 0.80, will it continue to flood? Alright, so 0.80 looks like the magic number. And it doesn't bloody flood. Or if it does, it floods over a day. Oh, yes, a bit of drought approaching. I don't know why that's an oh yes, but it is. Let me just set all of my automations here to can do into 0.08 whenever tides end. And we can avoid beavers getting wet for, because the Emberpelts bloody hate it. I tell you what, I am buzzing with that oak hill here, like. Our beavers haven't really got much of this in, and I don't really want them to get any of it in now, because we don't have long, and I don't want to do any dodgy pressure stuff. Although technically, I only need to pause that one. The beavers can blow up these blocks as much as they want. I'm not that bothered. I've just been trying to figure out what the crack is here, and I'm like, why can't I put any tunnels down? They've already built these tunnels, and I put one too many bits of floor on. That's bloody oak growing that. And damn. Our bloody scrappers here have nearly got all of this thing done. Like all the way down to the bippity bottom. Look at that. There's not that much scrap left. We might have to start looking at getting a bit of permanent scrappage on the ground. Maybe. And when you look at that, our water storage is all full up. And we didn't even unpause any beavers to slurp this season. Things might be bloody looking up in Fireside. I'll tell you one thing that's looking up. The bloody warehouse stack. And I'm even going to top it off with a couple of underground piles here. I mean, we're going to need somewhere to store all these oak logs that we're going to be chopping down, didn't we? So let's dip down to level 13 here. We've got all the pressure in our canal. That is bloody lovely. And the reason I've got this tunnel paused here is because I want to test how long this pressure lasts after the drought kicks in. But for now, why don't we sit back, relax, watch the Emberpelt plant all these oaks, as well as a handful of beaver builders smashing in some stairs and platforms out at the industrial warehouse pile. Whoa, hold up! Drought started, and it just instantly got drier up in here. How long's this pressure gonna last? And testing we got 30 odd days. I suppose if nothing else, we can see the big warehouse stack getting built over there. Well, let's do a speed 4, speedy up bit, all the way until the pressure drops. For science, of course. What? How's the canal so shite? Well, I guess ye old YouTube comments are right once again. The little one wide canal does feck all. I mean, like, it irrigates plenty, but it doesn't bloody stick around, it evaporates. Now, I do know the devs nerfed the 1x1 OP irrigation hole a while back. And from what I recall, they basically just said, your tiny little bodies of water, they're too cheaty. But I thought having a big long canal wasn't cheaty because the body of water is actually big. But I guess it is. If it's only one wide, it evaporates real quick. Now, I might have some ways of sorting that out. Let's have a bit of a faffaboot / test. And we're going to have to do it before we plant too many trees as well. Or it doesn't matter if the trees are planted because we're just going to blow them up anyway by the looks of things. But there's my mad little plan to get a little bit more surface area on this canal here. hopefully stop it evaporating. I'm going to do the same thing over here, even if it does mean sacrificing some trees. But we are going to stay one wide for the land bridge. That must stay one wide. So in our beavers, high priority all of those bits of tunnel in there. And at this point, you can even put that bit of tunnel in. Because to be honest with you, we need a dry bit of canal. So beavers can get in and plant the last couple of bits of TNT that are actually underneath the bit hill here. And I'm hoping to use this spot where we had the lumberjack flag planned to get the stairs down into it. And to be fair, I may as well tell the beaver not to bother planting bloody trees where we're going to be blowing them up. And now I just realised I should delete this, get the resources back for it. Well, I hope the resources are there because we actually only need a 1 dynamite in there because we're going to be putting stairs. So beaver, get a bit of dynamite in there with an absolute quickness. Thank you very much, Lee, because now we can detonate that bad lad. We can hope that this beaver's putting the last dynamite in there and they're not. Beaver, pop the last dynamite in there. Happy days. Because now we're getting that water down all the way down to here. And yeah, now it does green up a little bit more ground, so our big forester can plant some more oaks. But more importantly, it allows this water to evaporate, so our beavers don't get wet fur for as long. So let's watch that water evaporate, ideally before any beavers get in there. Happy days, it's all gone. So now I can be like, beavers, all of this dynamite here is your maximum priority because you need to get it all done before the temperate season starts, because if you didn't, there's gonna be some floodage happening, which is less than ideal. Yeah, now anywhere that isn't already a tree needs to have impermeable floor plopped on it. Now I think it's time to have a permanent clay pit around the gun. Just the one though, not two. And with all that heavy building to be done, why don't we enter into an end of episode spin-around speedy up bit. Our treat, we're doing a spin-around bit on the rectangle. A proper wonky number. Will our beavers be able to get that whole canal blown up and resealed before the next temperate season drops, which was 10 days from when the speedy up bit started? Or will we have a big leaking wet fur situation on our hands? We're going to have to tune back on Monday to find that out, as well as find out if this canal's even going to work at all. I've done 2 big testy episodes to make sure it would work and it just doesn't bloody work. But as I was saying at the time, the testy test channels, they were 3x1s. I don't think I actually tested with a 1 wide canal system, so fingers crossed all these extra little bits and bobs are enough to keep pressure for the whole bloody drought. Otherwise those oaks on that hill are going to take a bloody while to grow. And until Monday's episode rolls round, I hope you have yourself a lovely weekend. Peace!